This story begins in the most ordinary of ways, on a flight like countless others. The hum of the engines fills the cabin, passengers doze off, and the woman in row 10 is sound asleep, unaware that within moments her life, and the lives of everyone around her, will be shaken by an unexpected announcement. There's a calm that always settles on a plane once it reaches cruising altitude, that soft sense of safety, and that's exactly when the captain's voice cuts through the air. Instead of the routine, sit back and enjoy the flight, the announcement is startling. Are there any combat pilots on board? The silence that follows is heavy. Passengers look at one another, bewildered. This is not something you hear on a commercial flight, and instantly everyone knows something is very wrong. The question raises more than curiosity. It raises fear. Why would a captain ask for combat pilots of all people? The implication is urgent. Combat pilots are trained for life-and-death situations, able to keep calm under fire, able to handle machines under extreme duress. If the crew is asking for such help, then clearly something is happening in the cockpit that goes beyond ordinary turbulence or a medical emergency. That single question transforms the atmosphere in the cabin from sleepy to electric. Conversations hush, eyes dart, and people wait for someone to respond. The camera of the story lingers on row 10, where the woman stirs awake. She blinks, adjusting to the reality of what she just heard, and for a moment she doesn't react. But as the seconds pass, her mind races. She has training. She has experience, though she has kept it tucked away, never expecting it to matter here, on this ordinary flight. Inside, a storm of conflict brews. Should she stand up, reveal herself, take on the responsibility that may come with that declaration? Or should she stay seated, let someone else answer the call, hope that maybe there is another trained pilot on board? It's the quiet struggle of courage, the kind that rarely makes headlines, where fear and responsibility collide in the human heart. Around her, passengers whisper, some scanning the rows as though searching for the hero they hope is among them. The request still hangs in the air like a weight. Any combat pilots on board? Finally, she exhales and rises, stepping into the aisle. It's not with dramatic music or applause, but with quiet determination. She identifies herself and is quickly escorted toward the front of the plane. At this point, the suspense reaches its peak. Viewers can't help but wonder, what exactly has gone wrong, and how can she possibly help? The video doesn't linger too long on technical jargon, but the sense is clear. Her expertise is needed. Maybe it's to assist a struggling co-pilot, maybe to guide the aircraft through turbulence or a sudden systems failure. What matters is that her presence represents hope, a reminder that hidden among us are people whose training can make the difference between disaster and safety. The resolution is steady rather than sensational. With her help, the crew regains control, the emergency is managed, and the plane continues its course. Relief spreads among the passengers, though many still don't fully grasp how close they may have come to danger. The woman returns to her seat, no longer anonymous. She was just another traveler in row 10 when the flight began, but now she is someone who stepped forward, someone who changed the story of that day. And though most passengers will forget her face after they land, they will always remember the strange moment when the captain asked that impossible question, and someone answered. What makes the video compelling isn't just the tension of the story, but the way it highlights an important truth about ordinary life. We never really know who sits beside us, who walks past us in the airport, or who nods off in the next row. We never know the experiences people carry quietly, waiting, often unknowingly, for the moment when they might matter most. This narrative drives home the point that skills and training are never wasted, even if years go by without needing them. One day they might save lives. At the same time, the video has its weaknesses. Some details of the emergency are left vague, which might frustrate viewers who want concrete facts about what really went wrong in the cockpit. It leans heavily into dramatization, and while that builds suspense, it risks losing credibility if the audience begins to wonder whether the story is embellished. Stronger context about the incident itself would give the narrative more weight. Yet the strength lies in its universal message. Courage doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers, nudges, and then takes a single step down an airplane aisle when others remain seated. This story resonates especially with people who doubt themselves, who underestimate their ability to make a difference. It's a reminder that readiness matters, that hidden skills might one day be the very thing others depend on. For aviation enthusiasts, it offers a thrilling what-if scenario. For anyone seeking motivation, it serves as a powerful metaphor. No matter how small or overlooked you feel, you may one day be the answer to a call no one else can answer. In the end, the message is simple but profound. Life has a way of presenting us with unexpected moments, moments that test not just our skills but our willingness to step forward. The woman in row 10 didn't plan to be a hero that day, but when the captain's voice called out, she rose to the challenge. And perhaps that is the greatest takeaway from this story. You never know when the moment will arrive, but when it does, the decision to act can change everything.